Hey y'all, I'm Caroline, and I'm just going to be talking a little bit today about my personal analysis and interpretation of Girl Before a Mirror. It was painted by Pablo Picasso, and I'm just going to give a little bit of like my personal interpretation and then a formal analysis as well as a stylistic analysis to kind of give us like a full view of everything about this painting. So first, The Girl Before a Mirror was created by Pablo Picasso in March of 1932. Picasso was 50 years old when he painted this piece, and it's currently located at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. The Museum of Modern Art, it also contains 54 of Picasso's other paintings, which is the most paintings by one artist in the Museum of Modern Art. So about the artist, Pablo Picasso was born in Spain in 1881. However, he spent most of his adult life in France. So sometimes in his paintings, you'll see influences from both of those places. Picasso created art pieces in all different mediums, including paintings and sculptures, ceramics, and also printmaking. He also created art pieces that fit into many different time periods, such as Cubism, which is what A Girl Before a Mirror is, and then Neoclassicism and Surrealism and Expressionism. Pablo Picasso has pieces of artworks on display in some of the most famous museums all around the world. And his pieces are often like very recognizable because there are similarities between a lot of his works. So personal interpretation is something that I feel is really important when you're analyzing a piece of art, because I feel like it's important to develop your own kind of idea of what you think that your message or what you think the artist's message is behind the piece. And this piece, personally, I think that Picasso was attempting to portray a very powerful message of image and self-confidence issues in women. I kind of think that this piece was a turning point for a lot of people because this is something that was kind of a like new idea to many people like at the time this painting was created. So I believe he intended for his audience to be women and young girls who struggle with body image and body confidence issues. The painting shows a beautiful woman looking into the mirror, and when she looks in the mirror, she sees an ugly, like distorted image that is only seen by herself, not by people who come into contact with her. So it really just has like a strong, pretty, like obvious message that the people who see her like in her daily life see her in a way that she does not see herself. So I've done a formal analysis on the painting. And Pablo Picasso clearly uses many different elements and principles of art in this piece to portray his message. One of the most obvious elements Picasso uses in The Girl Before a Mirror is shape. This is an element very commonly seen in Cubism, and here Picasso uses various geometric shapes to represent the natural shapes of the human body. Value and color are two elements that go hand in hand in this painting, as the light value and bright colors on the left side of the painting kind of create a contrast with the dark value and the more like dull, like subdued colors on the right side of the painting. This use of the different colors and values greatly affects how people see the painting, because it's easy to interpret the message. Emphasis and gradation are two principles of art that we see clearly in A Girl Before a Mirror. Picasso combines elements seen on both the left and right sides of the painting to make the differences between the two sides more apparent. The differences between the two sides are made gradually by doing things such as changing a light hue to dark hue or changing like maybe the locations of the shapes as you see in some of her features. You can also see just like little subtle changes that he makes between both sides. Like the woman on the left, it seems like she has herself like a lot more well put together, whereas the woman on the right is a little bit more like emotional, and you could like interpret that she's crying. So that's the like kind of principle that Picasso is trying to enforce here. And again, this helps emphasize that the girl on the left should be viewed as a beautiful, like strong woman, and the girl on the right is seen as distorted and like full of despair. And all these elements combine to show that the girl on the left is very obviously like bright and intelligent and strong. However, the way she sees herself in the mirror is very different. Um, so a stylistic analysis strays away a little bit more from the like formal elements of art that you're kind of looking at in the formal analysis, and this looks more at maybe what was going on in the world or in the artist's life that could have influenced the message behind the painting or like his reasoning for wanting to paint this. So when you look at the girl before a mirror, with a stylistic approach, there are many factors that could have influenced Picasso's direction for the painting. One that I think is most prevalent is that in 1932, when the painting was created, the Great Depression was in full swing, as many people know, and it had already made a worldwide impact. Because of the high rates of unemployment, many of the typical wage earner roles at the time in households were reversed, and women were the ones that were working like smaller jobs to support their families, because the more like sophisticated or like higher wage earning jobs that were typically held by men at the time were all being lost due to the depression. And so some of the women were having to fill smaller roles to support their families. And women had been granted the right to vote roughly 12 years before this painting was done. And but there was still such a strong push for equal rights for women and equal roles in society that I think that this piece kind of fits in with that push, and it just kind of gives another like point of view. I believe that the push for women's right over the span about a decade was a strong influencer on Picasso's message. I think he was trying to show that body image and self-confidence issues can be found in any woman, even if she puts on a strong and confident face to portray herself to others in order to take care of the people that she loves. You never know what she may be struggling with when she's looking in the mirror, and I feel like that is something that Picasso is really trying to like get people to feel from this piece, especially in light of everything that was going on at the time with the depression and just like women's roles in society like starting to kind of shift a little bit. Like there were definitely still obvious like oppressive just kind of stigmatisms, I guess, in society, but overall I think that was the message he was trying to portray. And I hope that from this everyone can develop their own personal interpretation of what Picasso might have meant through this piece, and I hope you enjoyed.